friends, welcome back to my channel. So this is Pramod and this is again Core 1 practice state series, and this part is also very helpful to pass the Core 1 exam. So let's go to the questions, and this is the question number 1. So which of the following is a primary benefit of using VDI? First option is simplified software installation on devices. Second option is reduces network dependency issues. Third option is enhances desktop security and control. And last option is increases local processing speeds. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is option 3, enhances desktop security and control. So let's check the explanation for this answer. And the explanation is the primary benefit of using virtual desktop infrastructure VDI is that it enhances desktop security and control. VDI centralizes desktop management, allowing administrators to enforce security policies, apply updates, and monitor access more effectively, which significantly reduces the risk of data breaches or unauthorized access. Simplifying software installation on device is incorrect because while VDI simplifies management, software installation is typically handled centrally rather than on individual devices. Increases in local processing speeds are not accurate since processing is performed on the server rather than the local device. Reducing network dependency issues is also incorrect because VDI requires a stable network connection to function properly. And this question is belong to virtualization and cloud computing. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, a company is transitioning to a cloud-based infrastructure and wants to implement a pay-as-you-go model for its IT services. So which cloud deployment model should they choose? First option is hybrid cloud. Next option is private cloud. Third option is public cloud. And the last option is community cloud. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is option 3, public cloud. So let's check the explanation for this answer. And the explanation is the public cloud model allows organizations to pay only for the resources they use, making it a cost-effective solution for businesses that want to scale their IT services without heavy upfront investments. Public cloud providers offer shared infrastructure which reduces cost but may have security and compliance considerations. And this question is belongs to virtualization and cloud computing. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is, an IT administrator notices that their cloud hosted application is running with excessive CPU resources even when user traffic is low, leading to unnecessary cost. How can the administrator use elasticity to resolve these issues? First option is configure the system to scale resources down during periods of low usage automatically. Next option is manually reduce a CPU allocation each time traffic decreases to save cost. Third option is purchase additional CPU resources to optimize performance at all times. And the last option is upgrade to dedicated server to control resource allocation more efficiently. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is first, configure the system to scale resources down during periods of low usage automatically. So let's check the explanation for this question, for this answer. And explanation is the administrator can configure the system to scale resources down during periods of low usage automatically. Elasticity allows resources to adjust dynamically, reducing costs without manual intervention. Purchasing more resources or using dedicated servers does not address the problem of over provisioning. And this question is belong to virtualization and cloud computing domain. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following refers to using virtual machines as a method of provisioning workstations for corporate users? First option is IaaS, second option is VDI, third option is SaaS, and last option is pass. So let's check the correct answer for this question. So correct answer for this question is second options, VDI. So let's check the explanation for this answer. So explanation is virtual desktop infrastructure. VDI refers to using a virtual machines as a means of provisioning corporate desktops. In a typical VDI, desktop computers are replaced by low space, low power, thin client computers. When the thin client starts, it puts a minimum operating system, allowing the user to log onto a virtual machine stored on the company server or cloud infrastructure. The users connect to the virtual machine using some remote desktop protocol, Microsoft Remote Desktop or Citrix ICA for instance. The thin client has to find the correct image and use an appropriate authentication mechanism. Software as a service SaaS is a cloud computing service that enables a service provider to make applications available over the internet to end users. This can be calendar scheduling involving word processor, database, or the other programs. For example, Google Docs and Office 365 are both word processing SaaS solutions. Platform as a service PaaS is a cloud computing service that enables consumers to rent fully configured systems that are set up for specific purposes. And infrastructure as a service IaaS is a cloud computing service that enables a consumer to outsource computing equipment purchases and running their own data center. So I hope you clear this answer. So let's move to the next question. Next question is a company relies on a legacy accounting software that is no longer compatible with the latest operating system. So which of the following is the best solution to ensure continued use of the software without upgrading the operating system? First option is rewrite the application to work on the new OS. Second option is install the software on a cloud-based server. Third option is install a virtual machine running the legacy OS. And last option is use compatibility mode on the new OS. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is option 3, install a virtual machine running the legacy OS. So let's check the explanation for this answer. And the explanation is installing a virtual machine running the legacy OS is the best solution because it allows the application to run in an isolated environment, ensuring compatibility while maintaining the existing infrastructure without impacting the host system. Using compatibility mode on the new operating system is not reliable for complex legacy applications. Rewriting the application is costly and time consuming. Installing it on a cloud-based server may not provide the required environment for legacy software. So let's move to the next question. The next question is which cloud computing concept is best described as a focusing on replacing the hardware and software required when creating and testing new applications and programs from a customer's environment with cloud-based resources. First option is SaaS, second option is SaaS, third option is IaaS, and last option is PaaS. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is last option, PaaS, platform as a service. So let's check the explanation for this answer. So platform as a service is a cloud computing service that enables consumers to rent fully configured systems that are set up for specific purposes. Platform as a service provides the end user with development environment without all the hassle of configuring and installing it themselves. If you want to desktop a customized or specialized program, PaaS helps reduce the development time and overall cost by providing a ready-to-use platform. Infrastructure as a service is a cloud computing service that enables a consumer to outsource computing environment purchases and running their own data center. Software as a service is a cloud computing service that enables a service provider to make applications available over the internet to end users. This can be a calendar, scheduling, invoicing, word processor, database, or other programs. For example, Google Docs and Office 365 are both word processing SaaS solutions. Security as a service is a business model which a service provider integrates the security services into a corporate infrastructure on a subscription basis more cost effectively than most individuals or corporations can provide on their own when the total cost of ownership is considered. So let's move to the next question. The next question is training wants to install a new accounting systems and is considering moving to a cloud-based solution to reduce cost, reduce the information technology overhead cost, improve reliability and improve availability. Your chief information officer is supportive of this move since it will be more fiscally responsible. Still, the chief risk officer is concerned with the housing all of the company's confidential financial data in a cloud provider's network that might be shared with other companies. Since the chief information officer is determined to move to the cloud, what type of cloud-based solution would you recommend to account for the chief risk officer's concerns? First option is SaaS in a public cloud. Second option is PaaS in a community cloud. Third option is SaaS in a private cloud. And last option is PaaS in a hybrid cloud. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is third option, SaaS in a private cloud. Software as a service in a private cloud. So let's check the explanation for this answer. A SaaS software as a service solution based described an accounting system or software used as a part of cloud service. This meets the CIO's requirements to mitigate the concerns of the chief risk officer issued with private cloud solution. This type of solution ensures that the cloud provider does not commingle your data with other customers' data and provide dedicated servers and resources for your company's use only. So let's move to the next question. The next question is company hosts its e-commerce websites on a cloud platform. During a flash sale, the website experiences a sudden increase in traffic, but the cloud service automatically adds resources to handle the load. What cloud characteristic is demonstrated in this scenario? First option is redundancy, second option is multi-tenancy, third option is scalability, and last option is elasticity. So let's check the correct answer for this question. The correct answer for this question is last option, elasticity. So let's check the explanation for this answer. The explanation is the characteristic demonstrated is elasticity, which dynamically adjusts resources to handle fluctuations in a demand. Scalability involves permanent changes, multi-tenancy refers to shared environments, and redundancy relates to fault tolerance. So let's move to the next question. The next question is training solutions want to migrate their email server from an on-premise solutions to vendor-hosted web-based solution like Google Workspace or Gmail. So which of the following types of cloud models best describes this proposed solution? First option is SaaS, second option is IaaS, third option is DaaS, and last option is PaaS. So let's check the correct answer for this question. So correct answer for this question is first option, SaaS. So let's check the explanation for this answer. So the explanation is software as a service. SaaS uses to web to deliver applications that are managed by a third-party vendor and whose interface is accessed on the client side. Most SaaS applications can be run directly from a web browser without any downloads or installations required. Although some required plugins, the Google Workspace and Gmail solutions for business are good examples of SaaS solutions. Infrastructure as a service is a type of cloud computing service that offers essential compute, storage, and networking resources on demand on a pay-as-you-go basis. Platform as a service is a complete development and deployment environment in the cloud with resources that enables you to deliver everything from simple cloud-based apps to sophisticated cloud-enabled enterprise applications. So desktop as a service is a cloud computing offering where a service provider delivers virtual desktops to end users over the internet, licensed with a per user subscriptions. So DaaS is often combined with a virtual desktop infrastructure. So let's move to the next question. Next question is which of the following types of data should you transmit over TCP? First option is a Skype phone call with your friend. Second option is streaming music while you work. Third option is streaming video from YouTube. And the last option is an order for $50,000 stock purchase. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And correct answer for this question is an order for a $50,000 stock purchase. So let's check the explanation for this answer. So TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, is a slower but more reliable data delivery protocol. TCP is responsible for ensuring the packets arrive error-free and without loss. If you are doing something that must get to the destination without errors or data loss, such as banking transactions or stock trade, it should be sent over TCP. The Transmission Control Protocol (TCP) is a protocol in the TCP IP suite that operates at the transport layer to provide connection-oriented, guaranteed delivery of packets. Host must first establish a session to exchange data and to confirm the delivery of packets using acknowledgements when using TCP. So TCP is relatively slow in comparison to UDP, but this is the correct option for this question. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which type of wireless network utilizes the 2.4 GHz frequency band and reaches speed up to 54 Mbps? First option is 802.11n, next option is 802.11a, third option is 802.11g, next option is 802.11ac, next option is 802.11b, and last option is 802.11ax. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is option 3, 802.11g. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, which of the following devices should be installed as intermediately between your clients and the web servers they want to connect to the make an HTTP request from the client? So check it and then forward it to its destination. First option is proxy server, next option is file server, third option is DHCP server, and last option is DNS server. So let's check the correct answer for this question. The correct answer for this question is option 1, proxy server. So let's check the explanation for this answer. So explanation is, a proxy server takes a whole HTTP request from a client, check it, then forwards it to the destination computer on the internet. When the reply comes back, it checks it and then shuttles it back to the LAN computer. A proxy can be used for other types of traffic too. A proxy server can easily operate either as a transparent service, in which case the client requires to special configuration, or as a non-transparent service that requires configuration. A proxy server is a server that acts as an intermediary between a client requesting a resource and a server that provides the resource. A proxy server can be used to filter content and website from reaching a user. A file server used to host and control access to shared files and folders for the organization. A dynamic host configuration protocol server is a server configured with a range of addresses to lease. Host can be allocated an IP address dynamically or assigned to reserved IP address based on the host MAC address. The server can also provide other configuration information such as the location of DNS servers. A domain name system server is a server that hosts the database of domain names and IP addresses mapped to those names. Each DNS server is authoritative for certain domain names that their organization owns. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, which of the following ports should a client use to automatically request an IP address from the server? First option is 123, next option is 25, third option is 69, and last option is 67. So let's check the correct answer for this question. The correct answer for this question is last option, 67. So let's check the explanation. So the dynamic host configuration protocol DHCP uses port 67 and is network management protocol used on internet protocol IP networks for automatically assigning IP addresses and other communication parameters to devices connected to the network using a client server architecture. Network time protocol NTP uses port 123 and is networking protocol and clock synchronization between computer system over packet switched. Variable latency data networks, reliable flight transfer protocol uses port 69. It is simple lockstep file transfer protocol that allows a client to get a file from or put a file into remote host. The simple mail transfer protocol uses port 25. It is an internet standard communication protocol for electronic mail transmission. And this question is belong to networking domain. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, your firewall is blocking outbound email traffic that is attempting to be sent So which port should you verify set to allow in the firewall to ensure your emails are being sent? First option is 80, next option is 143, third option is 22, and last option is 25. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is last option 25. And let's check the explanation. And the explanation is the simple mail transfer protocol is the protocol used to send mail between the host on the internet using TCP port 25. Port 25 must be set on open or allowing the firewall for SMTP to function properly. SSH is the protocol used to remote administration and file copying using TCP port 22. SSH is considered secure since it uses authenticated encrypted sessions for communication. SSH is the protocol used for remote administration and file copying using TCP port 22. The Internet Message Access Protocol (IMAP) is a TCP/IP application protocol that provides a means for a client to access email messages stored in a mailbox on a remote server using TCP port 143. Unlike POP3 message is persisted on the server that the client has downloaded in. IMAP also support mailbox management functions such as creating subfolders and access to the same mailbox by more than one client at the same time. So let's move to the next question. Next question is which of the following is an open source wireless communication protocol operating in the 2.4 GHz frequency band and is primarily used for home automation? First option is Z-Wave, second option is Zigbee, third option is Bluetooth, and last option is NFC. So let's check the correct answer. And the correct answer for this question is option 2, Zigbee. So let's check the explanation. So explanation is Zigbee is an open source wireless communication protocol used for home automation. Zigbee is open source unlike Z-Wave which is proprietary. Zigbee uses the 2.4 GHz frequency band. This high frequency allows more data bandwidth at the expense of range than Z-Wave and a greater risk of interference from other 2.4 GHz radio communications. Zigbee supports more rollout devices within a single network, 65,000 compared to 232 for Z-Wave. And there is a no hop limit for communication between devices. Z-Wave is a low power wireless communications protocol used primarily for home automation. Z-Wave uses radio frequencies in the 800 MHz to 900 MHz frequency ranges. Bluetooth is a wireless technology standard used for exchanging data between fixed and mobile devices over short distance using UHF radio waves in the industrial, scientific and medical radio bands from 2.402 GHz to 2.480 GHz and building a personal area network PAN. Bluetooth is a commonly used when connecting wireless devices like mic, trackpads, headphones and other devices. Near field communication NFC is a set of communication protocols that enables two electronic devices, one of which is usually a portable device such as a smartphone, to establish communication by bringing them within 4 centimeters of each other. This is commonly used for connectless payment systems, transferring contacts, or transferring a file from one device to another. And this question is belong to networking domain. So let's move to the next question. And the next question is which type of wireless network utilizes the 5 GHz frequency band and reaches speeds up to 54 Mbps? First option is 802.11a, next option is 802.11n, third option is 802.11ax, fourth option is 802.11b, fifth option is 802.11ac, and last option is 802.11g. So let's check the correct answer for this question. So first option is 802.11a. This is the correct answer for this question. So this is the wireless network utilizes the 5 GHz frequency band and reaches speeds up to 54 Mbps. So let's move to the next question. The next question is you work for the city's Department of Motor Vehicles DMV. There are 5 DMV locations spread out across the city and that you have been asked to connect with a network. You have created a list of requirements for this network, including that it must be wired and support at least 1 Gbps of bandwidth. So which of the following network types would most likely be used for the DMV to connect the internal networks across the city securely? First option is MAN, second option is LAN, third option is WAN, and last option is PAN. So let's check the correct answer for this question. And the correct answer for this question is first option, man. So let's check the explanation. The explanation is a metropolitan area network. MAN is a computer network that interconnects users with computer resources in a geographic region of the size of metropolitan or city area. This is the most appropriate choice based on the requirements provided. MAN is a term applied to the interconnection of local area networks LANs or campus area networks CANs across a city into a single larger network. A MAN is a larger than a CAN or LAN but smaller than a WAN. A local area network LAN is a network where all the nodes or hosts participate in the networks are directly connected with cables or short range wireless media. A wide area network WAN is a network that spans multiple geographic locations such as internet. Wide area networks are often established with leased telecommunication circuits. A personal area network PAN is a close range network that is usually based on Bluetooth, NFC, or communications between personal devices such as smartphones, laptops, printers, and other peripheral devices. So let's move to the next question. So next question is, which of the following is used to capture the logs from different devices across the network to correlate different events across multiple servers and clients? First option is proxy server, next option is DNS server, third option is DHCP server, and last option is syslog server. So let's check the correct answer for this question. The correct answer is last option, syslog server. So let's check the explanation. And explanation is a syslog server used to capture logs from different devices. It allows for the correlation of logs to simplify log review and an analyst's ability to respond to alerts. For example, syslog messages can be generated by Cisco routers and switches, servers, and workstations and collected in a central database for viewing and analysis. A proxy server is a server application that acts as an intermediary between a client requesting a resource and the server providing that resource. The domain name system is port 53 and is a hierarchical and decentralized naming system for computers, services, or other resources. Connected to the internet or private network, the dynamic host control protocol DHCP uses port 67 and is a network management protocol used on Internet Protocol IP. Networks for automatically assigning IP addresses and other communication parameters to devices connected to the network using a client-server architecture. So let's move to the next question. The next question is, your company's network has 33 computers that are directly connected to switches using Cat5 cable. The two switches are interconnected using a fiber cable with MTRJ connectors at the end of the cable. All three computers and the two switches are located within the same office building. So which of the following types of networks would best describe this network configuration? First option is PAN, second option is MAN, third option is WAN, and last option is LAN. So let's check the correct answer. And the correct answer for this question is last option, LAN. So let's check the explanation. Explanation is, since all the computers and switches are located in the same building, it is the best described as a local area network configuration. A local area network is a network where all the nodes or hosts participating in the network are directly connected with cables or short-range wireless media. A MAN is a computer network that interconnects users with a computer resource in a geographic region of the size of a metropolitan or city area. A WAN is a network that spans multiple geographic locations such as the internet. Wider networks are often established with links, telecommunication circuits. A PAN is a close-range network that usually based on Bluetooth, NFC for communications between personal devices such as smartphones, laptop, printers, and other peripheral devices. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, training's office is outside of the service area for traditional business internet connectivity. So Jason wants to ensure the office has a 1 Gbps connection to the office with under 10 ms of latency. To achieve this, he ordered a business class microwave service. Which of the following types of internet connection types did he order? First option is DSL, second option is cable, third option is WISP, and last option is fiber. So let's check the correct answer. So correct answer is third option, WISP. So let's check the explanation. So WISP, a wireless internet service provider, provides a microwave and cellular connections to business using line of sight technologies. A loss technology is a wireless connection method using ground-based microwave antennas aligned with one another. Endpoints can transmit signals to one another as long as they are obstructed by the physical objects. The antennas are mounted to the top of the building to reduce interference. Low service offer low latency or least lower latency than traditional satellite internet service. DSL is a technology used to transmit multimedia traffic at a high bit rates over twisted pair cables. This allows a telecommunications company to connect a user's home to the local switching center using normal telephone lines, then connect that local switching center to the central offices over a single high-speed cable. A cable modem is a type of network bridge that provides bidirectional data communications via radio frequency channels on a hybrid fiber coaxial radio frequency over glass and coaxial cable infrastructure. Cable modems are primarily used to deliver broadband internet access as cable internet, taking advantages of an HFC and RFOG network's high bandwidth. Fiber to the X is commonly used to describe when the fiber connection ends between the service and the subscribers. The closer to fiber is to user's network, the fastest service. FTTH fiber to the house provides fiber directly to the user's home network, making it fastest option. Traditionally, you will find a 1 Gbps connection or higher with FTTH. FTTN or FTTC provides fiber only to the local area or neighborhood, but then uses copper cabling from the node cabinet curb to the home network. So which slows down the network. HFC except that coaxial cable used from the cabinet to the home to the increase the speed. So I hope you are enjoying this video. So this part has been completed. So study hard, good luck and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe the channel to see more video like this. I will upload next part shortly. Thanks for watching. Thank you.